we've got a target to get to 10,000 barrels a day in 2.5 years, and I think we've got the assets in place within the Tapir block to get there, as well as our stuff in Santa Isabel Oso Pardo.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Arrow Exploration CEO Marshall Abbott. Marshall, very good to speak with you. Arrow's latest operational update noted there'd been drilling success in the Tapir block. Can you take us through the highlights, please?
Certainly, Stephen. Good to be with you again. So we've been very active in the field. We've got 2 drilling rigs operating and a service rig doing recompletions. We've been drilling horizontal wells into the Ubaque, which is kind of our bread and butter at the moment. The results that we're seeing out of these horizontals are exemplary. We haven't released rates yet, but we will in due course. And the service rig is recompleting zones in the Alberta Llanos prospect, so we're looking forward to those results as well. From a cash safety position, we're sitting on $13.5 million US of cash. And we also have a $20 million prepay in place with an industry partner looking for additional opportunities. But from the drilling front, 2 rigs busy through the breadth and depth of the Tapir block. And we've got the full spectrum of risk with respect to drilling locations before year end, covering low risk exploration, development, infill. So we're pretty excited with that. And it all comes down to scope and repeatability. So the play type that we pursue is proven throughout the Llanos Basin. We've had fabulous success on it. And we're drilling exactly overs for 3-way closure up against a fault. It's typically full of oil. So we've been rather lucky in that respect. We've, in 3 separate prospects in the Tapir block, we've had 3 discoveries that have spawned 32 development locations, which is where you make your money in this business. So we're pretty happy with the results, and what we have going forward into 2026 is exciting as well.
What's the current status of your drilling operations, Marshall?
So 2 rigs drilling, one at Carrizales Norte. It's a Ubaque horizontal well. We've got another one drilling the first Ubaque horizontal at the RCE platform. And then the service rig is at the Alberta Llanos prospect. We're completing an uphole zone that had marginal production out of the Ubaque, but the C7 Carbonera looks very strong, and it's likely going to be north of 500 barrels a day, like the other C7 wells that we've drilled.
You mentioned new prospects. Could you expand on those, please, Marshall?
Sure. So with the 2 3D programs we shot over the balance of the Tapir block, they've both rewarded us rather generously with drilling prospects. The first one we're going to drill is Mataguafa Oeste. Again, scope and repeatability, 3-way closure up against a fault. That'll be followed by Capullo, Mataguafa Attic, which is offsetting 2 wells that have done 600,000 barrels. We're quite a bit higher structurally than those 2 wells, and there's quite a bit of aerial extent to it. And then at the southern end of the block, where we shot the most recent 3D, we've come up with a number of very large prospects. Icaco, you'll hear us talking about from here to year end, is a very broad structure up against a fault again, but this has significant aerial extent. We're excited with what's facing us for the year end and for 2026.
Marshall, you mentioned that $13.5 million US dollars you have in cash as well as a prepay. How does that position you to support your growth going forward?
So we're using that typically to look at acquisitions. We're seeing quite a bit of activity onshore Colombia. Some of the bigger guys are decanting their assets, and with respect to proximity and block boundaries, there is certainly an appetite to pursue some of these. And with the cash flow that we're producing on a monthly basis with the $20 million prepay, we're in good shape to tackle some of these acquisition opportunities over and above what we've got on the drilling front.
And your broader strategy for Arrow going forward?
So we've got a target to get to 10,000 barrels a day in 2.5 years, and I think we've got the assets in place within the Tapir block to get there, as well as our stuff in Santa Isabel Oso Pardo. And we've got very good working relationships with some of the companies that operate in the Llanos Basin, and we're recognized as having the financial capacity to close on some of these deals. So it's a binary strategy, really, from a drilling perspective. organic growth, and then from an acquisition perspective, we would only do stuff that's accretive, of course, as we move forward.
Marshall, I hope you'll continue to keep us updated on your progress. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thanks, Stephen.
Marshall Abbott, the CEO of Arrow Exploration.